Zain, is it true that you used to do figure skating and when you were younger?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
How do you know?
Can't you tell it looks like an ice princess?
Your Instagram, I saw it, you posted about it.
Oh, that's right. I was a hockey player first.
Oh.
And then I went over to being handball player.
Okay.
And then I started playing the flute.
Okay.
And then I did what I actually wanted to do, and that was figure skating. It was amazing. It was. I still miss it a lot. But that's how I actually found dancing, because they said that I danced on ice. It's poetical.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, so I'll just try dancing. And that's how I ended up here.
That's cool. How long were you ice skating?
I was actually just doing it for like 2-3 years.
Okay.
But I practiced a lot before I started.
Okay.
On my own.
That's great.
So I got good really fast.
And Dennis, how is the drag going, and how do you balance your drag career with the increasing amount of creative project with you doing Zain?
The drag career is kind of on hold right now, because we finished the tour with After Dark 2 years ago, and then our business really took off. So I took a break, but I'm not done, and I'm still a performer right now in my head. So, and we got some plans, and we got some ideas how we're gonna develop that part too. So we'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah. This year you have 4 entries, so we will ask about them in the running order.
Cool.
So you're working with the mamas again. They
Yeah.
said they told you that you wanted to look expensive. How did you develop the stadium for the move?
Good question. I think I can speak for both of us when I say that we just felt like we wanted to. That was a good speech. Thank you. Thank you. Good night. No, but we just wanted it to be about their voices, and we wanted them to feel like queens, because they are. We wanted them to be fabulous and just introduce them as a group. So we wanted to make a really clean stage, but make it look crisp and expensive, yeah. But clean, and just more about the song and their voices.
And when we first got to know the girls, like every room they enter, they fill it with joy and music and voices and love, and we've gotten to know them very privately, and we got to know their stories, and we wanted the mamas to be the main focus in the number, not a lot of action around them. And I think they did a great job of just owning up to our vision and to themselves, because they are truly magnificent, strong women. We call them goddesses of the universe. It's like, they are super cool.
Yeah, they look very nice on stage as well. And can you tell us more about their outfits? Apparently there were some hand-downs for Swarovski with crystals.
Not so much Swarovski crystals on the last one, but we are gonna pimp it up a bit for the finals. And the mamas is all about. It's very important for them to get the message out about being like body confident and like being owning your truth and your body, and be proud of however you look.
Yeah.
And so it was important for us, and especially for the mamas, to dress them as they feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we had an inspiration, and it was of course the girls in Hercules that everybody wrote about, the goddesses. And I think it turned out cool. They got like their own individuality in the look, but slightly different.
They look gorgeous, and people were like very excited over it as well. With the headpiece as well. So.
Yeah, you mean like Ashley's
headpiece.
yeah, because we had another idea with that, and Ashley was sitting in the makeup room, and she was like, she's like this. I don't know. Whenever Ashley sees something bling, all of them are. They're like, "Can I put this here? Can I have this here?" She was just like, I saw her in the corner. She took the, what do you call it? Diadem.
Well, the
headpiece,
the crown, the crown.
Yeah, hair stuff.
Tiara.
Tiara. I saw her and she was like, and I looked at her and I was like, "You go, girl."
Yeah.
You feel that.
Tell us about the choreography. It's different type of movements, and they mostly stand with the microphones, but still add something special to the number.
It was we had a picture of, like, in our heads of them standing by a mic stand, but then the song is called Move, and it does have a tempo, so we wanted to create something that felt fabulous. A bit more going back to the roots instead of trying to reinvent something that is not broken. So and we tried to find like a really good hook with the shoulders, and like something that everyone knows how to do and that they can do when they're out clubbing, listening to the music, whatever, you know. So it was just more of like a simpler kind of arm choreography to enhance the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it turned out good.
It really did.
Yeah,
like when you see them on stage, and the movement, and you can see their faces. And
they're having fun.
Yeah, they're having very much fun, and you start smiling as well because you can feel it.
Yeah.
Actually, when I saw you remember when I came in and I saw the first rehearsal, and I know the girls kind of struggled about this whole choreography, and now they're not in the back, they're in the front, so all eyes are on them. And they were so happy in the rehearsals, and they did it full out. And I've never done that, I think, but I actually started crying because I saw the joy in the girls that yes, we nailed it, and it was good.
We're very proud of them because it is a lot of choreography. The whole song is choreographed, so we put the bar high and they delivered. So we're really proud.
They really did.
Yeah.
You also did Robin's number
after
winning with him I Can't Go On.
Yeah.
The song is very different this time, and so the staging talk us through creating number and take a chance on me.
Okay, so we had a vision from the beginning, and then during two different circumstances and stuff, we've had to repackage a couple of times, but we really feel like we ended up in the right world where we wanted to be. It's more of a storytelling, also back to basic, go back to Robin and his voice and him as a performer, and just concentrating on lifting him and the song instead of creating something that will take over. Not that it has to, but it can. And we just had this vision, and it just felt like the song is very storytelling, and so we just felt like, also with an input from Robin himself, that we wanted to do this kind of silhouette storytelling content. Yeah, so that's how we ended up in that, and then we just wanted to create like a heaven on earth feeling in the end, which we are gonna pimp up also. We're pimping up everything. Yeah.
And the two silhouettes are two of Sweden's best dancers.
Who is it?
It's Ellen Lindblad and Daniel Koivunen.
Okay.
Amazing dancers.
So when we filmed that was also an epic moment just in the studio filming that, because they are so in control of their craft and art, and it was just one of those tiny magical pieces that goes into a number that not maybe everybody sees, but the story and the feeling for Robin was very nice.
Yeah.
So now we can talk Swarovski, because this is I think there's almost 5,000 Swarovski stones that are hand glued stone by stone by a fabulous girl called the Swarovski Queen of Sweden, Kiki Lindholm. She's like, whenever I need to get something with stones, I call her up. And those are actually the shoes from Constellation Prize. We were like, yeah, let's reuse them, because that's also something that I and Zain work a lot with sustainability. And so even if we buy new things, of course, but it was just a nice vibe to reuse something. So that's the shoes, and I love them.
Yeah.
Me too, I want them.
Yeah. You're gonna have them.
Thank you.
It was a nice detail. Even when I was watching the show, and I could just like, I looked at the shoes and I'm like, I know Dennis has been in the works, and people were very excited when they saw it on the TV as well.
Yeah. That's also, I work with a fabulous tailor called Stefan Goldberg. He tailored the mama's clothes, and he's also like super quick on top of his head. And I was like, I need Swarovski shoes, and he was like, I have a contact. So he just ordered the stones, and it's that's part of what we love with Melodifestivalen, that we get to cooperate with so many different people and studios, and so that's it's good. It's teamwork. It's nice.
And can you tell about the flowy shirt as well?
The flowy shirt was also a thing that we really wanted. We wanted Robin in a style that was between Constellation Prize and I Can't Go On. So dressy, but not that dressy. A little bit of rock and roll, a little bit of 70s, and a little bit of hairstyles, but still feels like Robin. And the number is very flowy. It's like heaven on earth, that Zain said, with the clouds and the pink. So we wanted a shirt that was just, I don't like the word, and I know Lady G is gonna hate me now, but basic. But still with a texture and a silk vibe. And I know that Robin loved the way it moved, and he felt like he could just like focus on singing without any spectacular stuff. I thought he was gonna have some protest against the shoes.
Okay.
But when I told him that you're gonna have Swarovski shoes, he was like, hell yes.
Was it easier to choreograph him this time?
I think Robin has made a lot of what do you call it when you he's developed a lot, and not only the way he moves because he's more relaxed, but also in the way that he approaches everything. I think he's done a lot of improvement, and I'm very proud of him too. He's amazing, and this journey during rehearsals has been totally different in all the right ways. So yeah, it was different.
And he's also more experienced now, and he grown as an artist, and I think his voice is like completely different from just like 2 years ago. So, and I think he's artists always develop, and he's one of them. It's really he's in a good place.
Yeah, very good.
And you've gotten Hanna Bergendahl direct collaboration after she went to Anna Hansen last year. What's the creative inspiration for staging Kingdom Come?
Like the title says it all.
Yeah.
I think we see Anna as a queen.
Yeah.
No, she's not regal, but she's a queen in her life. She's been through a lot, and now she's a grown up, super confident, smart woman. And when we heard the title before we heard the song, we were like, we almost knew what we wanted to do before we heard the song. And when we listened to the song for the first time, Anna started like this because she didn't want to see our facial expressions.
She did.
And then we blinked at each other and said we're gonna fool her. So when the song ended, we were like, no, it was okay. And she was like, oh, what? And we were like, kidding.
Yeah, we loved it. I mean, the staging, the square, it was kind of interesting because after we had the idea, we asked her, like, do you have any lead words or anything? And she went, symbolic. And then we had this square. We're like, okay, and then what the square represents and everything. And it's nothing that anybody else knows, but like, if we know, the team, it just makes a difference. But it's just to, it's her kingdom, and she controls it. And the square is kind of like her fortress. Yeah. And so it's just amazing to have a strong woman in the middle, just ordering and being like, together we'll be stronger. Yeah, it's, I mean, we loved it, every second of it. Very proud of that one too.
And we talked about, like last year, like she was going through the forest as a princess, like trying to find her path in life, and now she's arrived to her castle with her army, and like gonna take over. And it was a little bit of Evita Peron.
Yeah, it's just iconic. Yeah, we just wanted the number to really be as big and as iconic as the song actually is. So yeah.
Yeah, it looked awesome.
Thank you.
A lot of people were very excited, and it was like something different from last year.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
Yeah.
And can you tell about her outfit? It was exquisite.
No, that was I think it was on the first meeting we had. I saw this Alexander McQueen show, and it was very tailored and very constructed. And last year she had a bodysuit, but it was very flowy and very like soft, no hard like edges. So and we always want to challenge ourselves and do something that's different. So this time around we wanted something super sharp, almost architectural, a little bit flirting with 90s Terry Mugler. So I drew this sketch on a napkin, and it almost turned out the way that we see it on stage. But I took it to my dear friend and super talented couture designer Lars Wallin, and he sprinkled his fairy design dust over it, and we made this together, and it turned out great. And Anna was a big part of it, and she's very she takes a big part of everything she does. So she was really in there and checking out the details and having thoughts of her own, and it was a great collaboration. And I think it turned out great. It's masculine and feminine and soft and hard, and I know it's black, but still we can see like her body flow through it. So I call it queendom.
Yeah. Awesome. Tell us also about the dancers wearing skirts.
It's not skirts, it's kilts.
Kilts. Yeah.
You know, no. But we wanted the same for the dancers. We talked a lot about it, and how do you make the dancers express themselves in a way that they are their own artist, but still Anna's army. We want them to be feminine and masculine, and we came up with the kilts, and also we wanted to be a little bit of the 90s Madonna vibe with the bare chests, and the kilts are, I did a collaboration with Naked for Danny Saucedo's show, The Runaway Show, and we did a collection there, and so me and Danny made the kilts for that.
Okay.
And when I gave Anna the idea of the kilts, she said, "Oh, actually my grandma is Irish."
Oh.
So the whole meaning was even
Mm-hmm.
deeper. So she got a little, not emotional, but
Mm-hmm.
she really felt it. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a natural. It was just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also when this man when he does choreography,
Yeah.
they're not easy.
No.
Like you can't have like tight pants or anything on, and we knew that it was gonna be. Someone wrote like a mixture of martial arts and river dance. But it sounds crazy, but that's actually they jump. You saw it, so the skirt, the kilts turned out really great.
Yeah, and they actually enhance the dance.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes it better.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when we talked about the kilts, that it was like, I was just like, yeah, let's do it. It's
Mm-hmm.
it just feels right.
It makes an impact.
Yeah.
And I really like the shot when the dancer jumps in.
Yeah.
It's really good. It was my favorite shot of all the performance.
And we won't tell you the secret.
A good question actually. I think this is kind of interesting, but me and Anna talk a lot about lyrics, and we send each other songs all the time, and very lyrical based songs, because a lot of people think of the sound or the beats, but I'm very much for the words, and so I actually just started moving to the words, and it just happened. It took me 25 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. It just happened, and I actually called Anna right afterwards. I was like, okay, I think I just choreographed your whole number in 25 minutes. And she's like, are you kidding? And it sounds like then it should be bad, but when it just happens naturally, it just fits and it just happens.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to stop the music and be like, I have to change this and this and this, but it just happened. I love when that happens.
But that's when it's good.
Yeah.
I saw an interview with Lady Gaga, and she wrote "Born This Way." It took her 5 minutes during breakfast.
Yeah.
It's like it's just there, and you didn't change like anything.
No.
Either.
I don't think so. And also, like, I mean, this is just the choreography, but like creating a number takes so much more time, of course. This is just a small part of the whole picture. But yeah, it was, I just tried to dance to the words. It just feels like it's more true to Anna's nature. So yeah, it ended up really good.
Did it? The last question will be, what is your best advice you ever received?
Let's see, best advice. I mean, in life, it would be
I know
something creative.
I know it in Swedish, but I will try to say it in English. There was someone told me once. Okay, I'm gonna translate. It's like to dare is to lose the ground under your feet for a second, but not to dare is to lose yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sounds so corny,
No,
but every time, like when we talk, it's like, should we do this? And like, no, we can't.
Yeah.
It's hard to go outside your comfort zone, but then we're like, fuck yes, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Taking the chance.
Yes.
Yeah. The leap.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I mean, I have like really good advice when it comes to life, and that would be, my dad said something to me once, and he said, we're born alone and we die alone, and the journey between those two, you get to decide and pimp it up with whatever you want. So be very careful with what kind of people you have close to you.
And you chose me!
And I chose him!
Yeah.
No, I did actually. But it's just a very nice way of thinking sometimes when you're in a rough patch and you feel like everything's really bad. And just feel like you get to decide your destiny. So you can always change what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my best advice in life.
And if you want a quick advice, if life gets tough, just remember what Bianca Del Rio said. Not today, Satan. Not today.
I thought you were gonna say vodka.
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 Yeah. What was the inspiration for Hanna's staging, design, and concept?
Go.
Should I take it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a photo. We totally just fell for a photo, and it had like 2 gigantic walls. And we had different ideas of what we were gonna do with the walls. Were they gonna have smoke? Were they not gonna have smoke? Were they gonna have light? Were they gonna have... So we took both smoke and light.
Yeah. And we really wanted an international, modern, sexy, young, powerful female pop vibe.
Yeah.
To give Hanna the right room and the right platform for her to really shine. Because with Hanna, she's like a special effect in herself, with her voice and her ability to really take the cameras and like deliver when the heat is on.
It's an interesting effect with the smoke within the boxes, the walls.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to time the smoke appearance and to get just enough smoke?
I mean, we don't control the smoke,
No.
but we talked to the guys that do it, and it just took like a couple of times for them to actually find the right amount of smoke and when and how and stuff. So I think it's okay. It's not that hard, but probably you need to know what you're doing.
And it's organic, so it won't look the same every time, and that's also that contributes to the live feeling of the performance. That is in this platform quite exciting, because you don't know what it's gonna look like. You just know the angles and where Hanna is gonna be, but like when the light hits, it can hit a little bit differently, and it's just what we like to work with, and that's art by accident. So it will be what it will be.
Like yesterday, when we saw the walls, we were like, during the evening, it was like they'd never look better.
No.
Yeah.
So let's hope they're like that tonight.
Yes.
It looks so much better from the Thursday or Fridays. It's like awesome to see. And what does the smoke symbolize?
It's mostly, we wanted to create a feeling, so we could be in the bigger, we could be in the mystical world in the verses, and then we wanted something that could live. So that's kind of like how the smoke came into the picture. I don't know if it really stands for anything like particular. It's more creating a vibe.
And it's a huge stage. So when you have an artist without dancers or without like huge technical stuff, we wanted to create the little room in the big room, and this turned out perfect because it gave Hanna like her space, and we can cut off the rest of the area, but still in the big pictures we can get it all in there.
Talk us through the styling process. How did you want to look on stage, and why?
Also there we had a couple of different vibes that we were going through. It was very important for Hanna to be just like body confident and strong and independent and young and modern, and so we looked a lot for those kind of vibes abroad, like in Hollywood, and I came up with a lead word, and that was like Hailey Bieber on Vanity Fair's after party in a dress made by Donatella Versace. So that's big words, but that's kind of the vibe, kind of Italian, a little bit sexy but still strong. But the fabric was important because we wanted to have a new color that we've never worked before, like in this turquoise kind of blue petroleum green vibe that we felt were like a grown-up cool color. So that's it. And we collaborate with a designer called Fadi El Kuru in Stockholm, and it turned out great, I think. And we can tell that Hanna really, she owns it, and that's the most important thing. That she feels good in it.
And how was the process of finding the fabrics that would be easy for her to toss in the effect of catching a wind when she's tossing it?
That's kind of easy because when you got a fabric, because we wanted it to flow without a wind machine, just by
walking.
Yeah. So in the movement in the body, it had to flow. So that was really what we looked for first. What kind of fabrics do we want? And then we came up with this, and the color was great, and the metallic vibe.
Yeah.
So it was an easy choice when we.
And like we always do, we turned down the lights in the studio, and we went there with our flashlights, and we're like, "Oh, it's gonna look awesome!" And we were really happy when we saw it on stage.
Yes.
It looks cool. It's like easy and like flowing.
Yeah.
Last question. It's a small detail that we notice in the hand movement that Hanna is doing over her nose. And can you talk about that? Because that got me thinking about the movie A Star Is Born. If you haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No.
What?
No.
It's okay. It's not that good. Yeah, it is, but. Gaga. What?
Is it this part?
Yeah, that part.
Oh no, that's a step that I did because the inspiration comes from Dennis.
From me?
Yeah. This is so you.
Yeah.
And so the first time we rehearsed it, and you were looking at it, I was like, he's gonna have notes. And then he went, I like it, but it has to be more like, and so we've been working on it, and he does it amazingly.
But that's kind of funny, actually, because Zain is a super pro trained dancer. And I'm more like a mover. So it's often when Zain says, can you teach me this little ding? And I'm like, what? Yeah, you just do it. And I'm like, okay. And then he uses it, and that's funny. Yeah,
it's fun finding inspiration from each other. But the first time, like because the breakdown the bridge, it has a kind of a dark feeling. So we wanted to be in a really tight picture and just create this, just one frame and just have a feeling into it really, really closely. And then the movement came, and then if you listen to the text, she says claws. And so it kind of went seamlessly into the claw. And it just made sense.
Yeah.
And did you see her claws?
Yeah, of course.
And paws.
Yeah, and it looks great. It's like a very small detail about like
I like that you saw it.
Yeah.